Okay guys, so we're going to start unboxing and setting up the game of Super Mario Bros. Game, or Super Mario Bros. The board game, that is, for gameplay. We're going to get it set up and started. It's going to be playing by myself for this time, even though the game does say 2 to 4 players, ages 6 and up, so I'm good to go at age 25. We gotta collect coins, avoid enemies, and rescue the princess. Sounds very much like the original Super Mario Bros. Game on the NES, which is what this is directly based off of. It is made by Milton Bradley, published with Nintendo. Super Mario Bros. Game. Now I just want to show you the whole box art real quick, even though I've already kind of admired it quite a bit. It does have some text on it, which is important to note. Defeat a world full of ferocious foes and rescue the princess, which it also says on the sidebar on the side, which shows a slightly different image. Shows a bullet bill, which you're going to fight in the game. Shows Mario in a slightly different image. A slightly more iconic image. I believe it shows a similar picture on the box art for Super Mario 2 on the NES. So this might have came out after Super Mario Bros. But we'll find out when we see the date on this box. There's the title logo. And there's that. On the front, it does also say based on the Blockbuster video game. And I don't know if I showed that. Anyways, let's check this side just so you know what it looks like. Check the other side, it's the same thing. Check the back side, same thing. Now actually, I just for reference, I did buy this game used, but I bought it when I was a kid. So I've had this for a very long time, at least since early 1995, even though I'm pretty sure this game came out quite a bit before 1995. Let's flip it over and check out the back, because I think a lot of the instructions, or a lot of what helped me make sense of the game, is on the back of the box. And sometimes that's the case. Not always are the instructions in a booklet or something like that. And I think I'm missing it, but I could be wrong. Okay, let's just read it in the back. Well, Mario looks kind of feisty there. Looks kind of manic. Yeah. Anyways, this is what the game board is going to look like once we get it set up. Of course, it'll be in full color, and it'll look a little bit different, but this is basically what you have. And if you look a little bit closer, it does tell you the contents. You have 4 game boards, Mario playing piece with stand, 1 die or dice with labels, 36 playing cards, 18 hazard tokens, and 36 coin tokens. I'm not going to go through and count them all, but I think I have enough, and even if I don't, there's nothing much I can really do. But they look like that. Coins, dice, Mario, bad guys, cards, and the upside down of the cards. And you've got these 4 separate game boards, which you kind of align to make one big game board. It looks like you can customize it, but I think you're supposed to keep it in order, so I gotta keep that in mind. Let's read the text up here. Now, Super Mario Bros. Is an exciting board game. Mario's journey through the Enchanted Mushroom Kingdom is now a unique game board adventure. To free the princess, Mario must fight the evil turtle tribe on 4 challenging levels of play. Move Mario up beanstalks, down pipes, over water traps, and fire bars. Hit bricks and blocks to collect coins and trade them in for extra lives. Stop your opponents with Turtle Tribe baddies. Stop baddies with fireballs. Be first to defeat King Bowser and save the princess, and you'll win the game. There's a Spiny. Now for this first episode, I'm not really sure how to set up the camera and the game and everything properly. It's quite different than a Let's Play where I just use a recording software or have a webcam or something like that on the computer. So, once again, technology is kind of confusing me a little bit, so let me know in the comments at any point what kind of camera setup I should have. But for now, I'm doing a little bit first person, and a little bit, I'm over here now, and then, yeah. Anyways, let's open up the game finally. Here's the box, nothing inside the top cover. Sometimes there is, so you gotta kind of keep an eye out for that. I'll put the box up there, so it'll be out of the way from the gameplay. Now, I remember the last time I played this, it was confusing, and I didn't really understand what to do. But I remember one time after playing this, I went through and I set everything up. So, I kind of organized everything and checked to see what was all there. And I don't know if this was the bag that it came with, but it might have been a bag that I replaced it with, but it also looks like something that it might have come with. Weird. It's like nostalgia's taking over. Anyways, let's check out the boards first and set those up. So yeah, it's basically like a game board, but you have, I believe, 4 panels. Yes, 4 panels. and you got to set them up in the right order, which we're going to need to see the bottom of the box, or at least read very carefully to set these up. When I was a kid, I thought someone ripped them, and that's why they're like this, but I believe on the back of the box it does indicate that they're supposed to be separate. I'm not sure why. Maybe because you can fit it in the box. Maybe they couldn't figure out the way to fold it properly, but I don't know. I think I can actually figure this out just by looking at it. So I think this is the top, but I could be wrong. So I'm going to actually check the bottom of the box real quick. I'll take these guys out, take out the cards, which are important, and I'm going to flip over the box. So I'm going to need to know the instructions as well. So I'm actually going to hold on to this over here and set this up real quick for you. Keep these guys up here for a second. And yeah, I was right. Bowser is at the top, which is kind of weird because normally in the Mario games, you feel like you're, at least to me, it feels like you're heading underground. On this game, you're going up to the top, to World 4. And each platform, or I guess each panel, is representing a world from the Mario games. Which, of course, as you know, if you're a fan of Mario, which I expect you are, you traverse from world to world trying to rescue the princess, who's often in another castle. And once you reach her, you must first battle Bowser, which is what you do in this game. Okay, so I've got that set up there. I need to move it down just quite a little bit. So we are, in fact, stuck with an old game. It came out in 1988. You can see that on there. 1988, Nintendo of America. I don't know if that's... I'm pretty sure that's just the date that it actually came out. Because Mario Bros. Came out in 1985. So this is about 3 years after the game. The video game, at least. The original Super Mario Bros. Video game. Okay, so we're going to have to do this a little bit, wing this game, and try to improvise a little bit. Improvisation is a little bit, something you sometimes have to do in board games. If you remember playing your last board game, maybe you had to do that a little bit on your own. Maybe you don't know the rules, or maybe you don't quite understand them. Even as a group of up to 4 players, you may or may not understand quite all the rules in certain games. Sometimes you have to fudge them a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, to a bit more of an exaggerated extent, with Super Mario Bros. And if anyone has the rules, feel free to post them or send them to me in a message, because that would really help me out quite a bit. And maybe I'll do a follow-up, and I will give you a shout-out. Okay, let's see if we can have Mario in here, because that's like the most important piece. There's no Luigi in this game, sorry guys. Even though it says 2 to 4 player, everybody takes turn playing as Mario. And I'm thinking that even though the back of the box doesn't explain too much, aside from the contents of what's inside and what the game pieces are, even though it doesn't explain it, my memory explains it a little bit more, because I have played this fully as a kid, and I remember it briefly. Basically. So here's Mario here. Yeah, pretty cool piece, actually. Actually, not really. Just a piece of cardboard with a little drawing on it, and plastic. Sorry, I hit the camera there. I didn't mean to hit you guys. Anyways, what you do in this game is you start out at this little tile here. It actually says start right there. It's a little far off, but it's HD, so who knows if you can see it. It says start. So you place Mario at the start. Now, you may notice certain things on the board. One thing that you may notice is that every other space is either red or yellow. It started on a yellow, and it goes red and yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. It goes like that throughout the whole board, the whole game, and it's a pattern, and it doesn't change. It's not like, Candyland where it changes or something like that. It kind of follows that pattern of the different color, which makes it more like a board game. Because it is a board game, of course. It's different than Mario. Mario doesn't actually have this in the actual game. But you may also notice that, there's certain things in the map, and they actually explain the game quite a bit. So one of those things that we got to look out for is coins. If you land on a square that has a coin, I believe you pick up that amount of coin tokens. So here's a coin token. There's another coin token. Some of them you get more than one. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna go and set the rest of this up real quick. But before we set anything else up, I'm gonna look at these cards right here. Now these are pretty cool cards. I actually wrapped them with a rubber band because they were loose, and I found the rubber band was the easiest way to take care of them. So anyways, on the back they have the question mark, which is like the question mark blocks on the video game. So you've got question marks on the back, and on the front side you have enemies. I believe that they're all enemy cards. So we're going to check these out real quick and let you look at the artwork as well as what kind of a card they are. So you've got Bowser's Fire, and then this is an important part of the cards, guys. Not just the artwork, which actually looks pretty cool, but the fact that it says World 4 only. There you go. Now that means this is World 4, this is World 3, this is World 2, this is World 1. This only activates in that world. Now I'm not entirely sure how this works, but you've got all these different monsters. A lot of them are the same. There's not a unique card for every one. Like, there's multiples for each monster, basically. And you have many iconic monsters from the Super Mario Bros. Original game. Now, what I think happens in this game is you're in need of a dice. Now, I don't have the dice, which is a big flaw for me today. If you look on this is the ideal setup that comes with everything in the game. I think the dice is probably the most necessary item that you will need to play this game, if you can call it an item. In my idea, what the dice does is, look, it shows a dark side, a light side, and a dark and light side. What I think is you roll it, and I think the dark side is actually red, and I think the light side is actually yellow. And when you roll the dice, you move either to the next red or the next yellow space. So in that way, if you got a yellow, you would jump over the red space. In that way, if you were back here, you got a red space, you'd only go forward once. So it'll allow you to move 1 to 2 spaces forward, and then the one with the slash, so it's both, I believe you can choose. So that way you can take your time and choose the path that you want to go. I don't believe you can run backwards in this game. I believe that you start at the start and you have to continue forward. Now there's certain things in this game that are kind of weird if you really think about it, and I think I understand what the cards are for now. Let's just jump into it and see how it goes. I don't have the dice, so I'm just gonna pick. You know how the dice is just for choosing your how much your movement speed is, basically. I'm just gonna wing it and show you what it's like. And we don't have the dice, but I pretty much explained what it does, so we're all good there. Okay, so we're gonna ignore the mushrooms because I don't know what they do, but we're gonna grab the question mark blocks and the coins, and the question mark blocks are once again where you get the monsters. Let's say this is my first turn, and I roll a yellow. So I move here, I got the question mark, pull out a card, I got Koopa Troopa. Now I grab a Koopa Troopa token here, and I place it on the map where I believe my opponent will fall. I'm going to place him right on the top of that pipe, which is on a red square. And then I'll put this in my so-called discard pile. And then let's move forward. So he got a red, which I'm going to say gives him nothing. If he was climbing on the top, like Mario often does, I would have gave myself a coin. But since I can't, I can't go back, I can't go forward and back, I can't really grab that coin. In the game, he could break the block and jump up, but I'm not going to do that on this because I don't know how that would work on this game. So I'm just going to keep moving him along. And I'm going to say, okay, 2 coins square. So whoever that was gets 2 coins. This is just a basic gameplay. If you have this in your home, or if you actually have the dice, I recommend playing it because it's a lot of fun. It's really short, simple, and sweet, but it's fun for family. It's fun for kids, too. It's fun for any fan of Mario or Nintendo, in my opinion. Okay, so we move Mario here, and then we move him here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here. 2 more coins. I'm just going to show you an example of what I believe may happen directly when you land on the Koopa. Now, instead of being able to jump on enemies, I don't believe that Mario would be able to jump on enemies in this one. So, I don't really know how to calculate the combat or anything like that in this game in particular. So what I would say is, once you land on an enemy square, just like touching an enemy in game, you're dead. Game over, man. And you go back put him back as well. It basically clears the board, and you have to start from the start. Now, I'm not actually going to start from the whole start because this video is really long, so as it is. So basically, if you move here, both of these, yellow and the red, move you up the pipe, and on the text it says to World 2, which brings you to the start position of World 2, which we're going to keep our coins, at least. I mean, you would keep your coins if you were playing the real game, I believe, even after a game over. Because in Mario, think about the NES game, once again, you keep your coins until you get a full game over. This is more like a life. I don't think there's a full game over until the actual game's over. So let's just continue on and keep our, so far, 4 coins. Now, there's not really too much different on this board, except for the layout. This looks more like an underground stage. You've got the water, you've got the big pipes, you've got the conveyor belt type thing, or you have to shift your weight in order to stay afloat, basically, on the platforms. So you're moving along. Now, this is a water square. I'm assuming if you were to land on that, it would also kill you and send you back to start, basically. So you have that as a built-in problem, or a pitfall, or a hazard that you kind of have to look out for when you're playing, too. Of course, once again, it's not up to you for the movement. It's all in the dice. So I'm going to move ahead. I'm going to move all the way to here. I'm going to draw another card. Now this one says Bowser's Fire, World 4 only, which is, I think you can actually hold on to these ones. You might even actually be able to hold on. You might even actually be able to hold on to any of these cards. You might not have to use them in right away, but there are ones specifically you have to use in a certain world, such as World 4, which is the only one with Bowser, which, as you know in the game, Bowser shoots fire at you towards the end of the level with Bowser. So I'm going to keep this card in my hand, which is so-called my hand, just this pile down here. Anyways, we're going to move on. Let's just say we won. We beat this level. We didn't get any coins, but we beat that level. So let's put this over here. You don't really have to put it over there, but I'm doing that basically just so, well, you can separate it, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to record, I believe. Okay. Now, we are on World 3. I kind of want to move my discard pile and my deck up here. So let's move that up there. Now, World 3 kind of looks like, sort of like the snowy stages, a little bit to me. The outside snowy stages, a little bit different than the main Mario stage, but they're a little different. Just nerding out here, guys. Anyways, so we move forward, and then move forward twice. Now this one, we draw another card. Another Bowser's Fire, okay. I'm going to go to this one and draw another card. Little Goomba. Not just Goomba, Little Goomba. I believe they're the same thing, though. So I'm going to grab out a Goomba card, and I'm going to put him right here, which kind of blocks your path. So I'm assuming that you can actually jump up there. Like if you were on yellow, you could jump up to the adjacent space instead of having to go to fight the Goomba. So let's see what that would actually look like in the game. This is a whole bunch of turns, by the way. This is multiple dice rolls. And by the way, this is not just 2-player, it is up to 4 players. You go up there, and you skip the Goomba. That's just one thing you could probably try to do in the game. Then I'll move right there. I'm going to draw another card. The Bowser's Fire. What are these Bowser's Fire? I shuffled the deck. I'm actually going to throw those... Well, not the Bowser's Fires. I'm going to throw the Goomba away. And the discard pile because I used the Goomba. Even though the Goomba's still there, I would discard the card as soon as you put him on the field. Okay, and then I move. And this actually has a flagpole here, and it says Warp to World 4. It's kind of cool that there's the flagpole there. You know, the iconic flagpole that you climb on in the original game. Let's move all these cards up here, and move these guys right here, and move these guys in a separate pile. And put Goomba back to where he is, that little Goomba. Let's put this board over there, and let's move it in a little bit closer for you. Okay, and this is my pile. This is my hand. This is Mario. He starts here at the start position, which is yellow. Now in this one, you have even more pitfalls built into the actual game map. In addition to the ability to use Bowser's Fire, which is only available for use on World 4. And you have the really cool Super Mario Bros. Logo. And it also says a Milton Bradley game on the bottom. It has a Nintendo logo, just to point this out, guys. And it is World 4, the final world. And let's make our way across. Now, those other pitfalls and hazards that I was mentioning are these fire bars right here and right here. You know, those spinning fire bars that rotate in Bowser's Castle levels of Super Mario Bros. You've also got water, which is kind of funny that they have water instead of lava. You would think they would have changed to lava because earlier in the game they had water on World 2. And normally in these levels of the game there is lava. So it's weird that they put water for whatever reason. And there is fire sticks, so it's a little weird. Anyways, that's just me nerding out once again. So let's jump in. There is no item blocks on this one. So you kind of, it's kind of a good thing that I got all these Bowser's fires, because you kind of want to save them up for this stage. I didn't realize that there is no item blocks on this whole stage. No coins, no item blocks. That means you can't pick up any enemies. But if you can have them stocked up prior, your opponent can get the advantage on you by laying down 3. Count that 1, 2, 3, smack down. Lay those cards down. Lay those bad boys down. We're going to put up some fire from Bowser. One right there. One right there. You could even put one right there. I believe you can do it if you have all the cards in your hand. The power is yours. And now, basically, there is no way to get past that. You have a yellow space, a red space, yellow space, red space, yellow space. Unless they have something on the dice that says like 3 yellow space, which I don't think they do. I think it's only 1 or 2. 2 is the maximum space you can move. There's no way you can get past water, 3 fire. I'm getting a little into this, guys, but basically that would this kind of a thing would be defeat, and you would go back to the start. Which I believe, I didn't point this out, but I believe if you go back to the start, it's the other player's turn right away. So basically, if you lose, the next player in line will get to go first with Mario on this board. It won't restart to the person who died. So basically, yeah. So what happens if you were to succeed? What would happen? I believe what you have to do in order to beat this game is you have to roll a yellow. Somehow, you have to roll some kind of yellow. Because if you look at it, I'll look at it really closely here, guys. I'll take Mario off for a second so you can look at it real close. Okay, now this is where it gets kind of important to notice. I get a little confused here. When you look at this, it goes red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Of course, but the yellow is over there, and yellow is there. You have to stand there, and you have to roll on a yellow. If you get a red, you'll lose. Now, it looks like that's 2 spaces of red, but it's actually 1, because you see how there's a divider? There's no divider there. So that still counts as 1 space, in my opinion. I don't see how it could count for 2 because the dice doesn't let you move that far. So, if you have to land right at the yellow, right in front of Bowser, and then you have to, get another yellow. Or the square with the yellow / red. So there's 2 ways to win, but if you're right there, and you land on a red, basically you roll a red, you're dead. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You pretty much make it to Bowser, beat him, rescue the Princess Toadstool, and save the day with Mario. Wahoo! It's a really fun game. It's really cute. It's really simple, really sweet, nice, fun, family fun. It's ages 6 and up, by the way, guys, which I don't know. I think nowadays they'd probably lower that, actually. Ages 6 and up. It's mainly because these pieces are quite tiny. Like, they're the size of, like, my thumbnail, basically. So, you don't want to play it with super little kids. Unless, even with 6-year-olds, you might want to have adult supervision, because there's some small parts. Even though they're just like paper, cardboard, this part right here is plastic. Just to point that out, guys. Watch out for your kids in this game. I'm not even kidding. It doesn't come with a rubber band, but I added that in for the cards. So, you don't have to worry about the rubber band, really. Anyways, I guess that's about it. It's a really fun little game, once again. And I'm happy to have finally shared this with you on YouTube in my new board game series. Now, this was a little long, guys. I don't know if I split it into 2 videos or not, but I might have. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll come back in a few seconds, and I'll tell you a little bit more, and that'll be it, guys. So once again, thanks for watching. Oh, man, that was tough. Mac was tough. Hey, guys. How'd you like that episode of BeardGames? Kevin's little show on Happy Beard Games about board games. Now, we focus on a Mario game this time, which is pretty rare actually. I do have a couple Nintendo games that you may have seen in either this video or maybe a separate video if I decide to split it. That I do have a couple of other Nintendo games. Now, I don't know how many of these games I'll be able to do by myself. Maybe later on I'll get a friend to do a little bit of a 2-player with me. That would be really cool. But for now, this is what I got. So, I just felt the need to share Mario with you because I knew I could do something with it on single player. And I want to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know what you think. Your opinions really do matter, and they will shape the future of my channel and of me. Because this is something new for me. I don't even know. I did a puzzle video a while ago, and a lot of people seem to like it almost as much as my video games, so I thought I'd try board games. Anyways, yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more classic gaming goodness on video games and other retro, games at all. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Please share it on Google+, Twitter, YouTube, and any other website that you can think of. Those are the websites that I have accounts on, so you might want to check those out as well. Anyways, leave likes and comments, guys. Until next time, have BeardGames. Arrgh!